Hey guys, JJ here, and today I'm going to be discussing some of the enemies we could see return to the upcoming Resident Evil 2 remake, and how new enemies could be added similar to Lisa Trevor and Crimson Head zombies from Resident Evil 1 remake. Alright, let's get right into it. Resident Evil 2 had some of the most iconic enemies in the Resident Evil franchise. Who could forget the first time you encounter the Licker in the hallway, or the first time Mr. X is set loose in the RPD, and quickly you realize that at any moment he could bust through the wall like the Kool-Aid Man, but instead of delivering a glass full of diabetes, Mr. X was there to destroy anyone who stood in his way. Now that I think of it, they're both kind of monsters in their own way. I could go on all day about how incredible the enemies were in the original Resident Evil 2. Honestly, there isn't one in the entire game that I wouldn't like to see return to the remake. The plants were kind of a bitch, but that doesn't mean I wouldn't like to see them return. Not only were there a great variety of enemies, but the game was also extremely well balanced. Early on, you'll fight the basic slow-moving zombies, but as the player progresses through the game, these mindless foes are replaced with extremely intelligent and agile lickers. This raises the question, what enemies could be added to the remake to enhance the experience without changing it too much or ruining the balance of the game? The best example of how to properly add new enemies comes from none other than the masterpiece itself, Resident Evil 1 Remake. Not only did this remake keep the core essence of what made the game a classic, but also added new and interesting enemies that expanded the lore. The first thing I would like to start off with is Crimson Head zombies. A lot of fans would love to see them appear in the Resident Evil 2 remake. For those that are unaware of what a Crimson Head is, they are the mutation of a zombie that turns its skin color crimson and develops long claw-like nails. This type of zombie is extremely fast and tough, and also goddamn horrifying. One theory is that the Crimson Heads are the middle stages of a zombie becoming a licker. I don't know how well this theory works with the lore, but it would be an excellent way to introduce Crimson Heads into Resident Evil 2. Whoa! Holy Jesus Christ! Was that a fucking Crimson Head? This would also create an all-new challenge for players. If the zombies were not properly taken care of right away, that would mean more Crimson Heads and more lickers as the game progressed. The next thing on the list is Spider-Man, but this isn't your average friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. This version has been pulled directly from the depths of hell itself. Created as an enemy in Resident Evil 1.5, but never released in the final version, this man-spider hybrid was originally intended to take the place of the lickers, but was scrapped along with 1.5. As if spiders weren't bad enough, this thing was truly horrifying. Another interesting enemy from Resident Evil 1.5 was Zombie Harambe, never forget. This enemy appeared in the RPD's underground parking garage after escaping a nearby Umbrella transport van. I'm sure there was a reason it was removed, but it sounds interesting enough that maybe it could work with the remake. The next thing on the list is Man-Bear Pig. Nah, I'm just fucking with you, but this is the Resident Evil universe where something like Man-Bear Pig would totally make sense, just saying.
About Man-Bear Pig.
Another new enemy that was introduced in the Resident Evil 1 remake was Lisa Trevor. As you progress through the game, you learn more about Lisa by discovering notes scattered throughout the mansion. As you read these notes, you learn more about Lisa's very tragic backstory and gives the player a glimpse into how cruel Umbrella Corporation really is. It isn't until you meet Lisa that you quickly learn how horrifying she is, but you can't help but feel bad for her. This is the perfect example on how to properly add to the game and expand the lore. It would be great to see a new enemy similar to Lisa Trevor. As you progress through the RPD, you'll uncover new files that would contain information about a serial killer that was brought in by the STARS team and imprisoned in the lower levels while awaiting his trial. This prisoner could have escaped during the outbreak and sought revenge on the police officers for imprisoning him. Because Leon wears a RPD uniform, that would make him a target. He could also learn about Chris's sister Claire and make her a target as well. And last but not least, a Nemesis cameo would be excellent. Since Capcom is remaking Resident Evil 2, I'm sure they're going to do a better job keeping consistent with the timeline, considering the fact that Resident Evil 2 and 3 take place around the same time. Maybe you could be walking down a hall and hear a loud boom in another room, followed by stars. only moments later to enter the room and find that there is now a hole in the wall where there wasn't one before. Maybe you could randomly bump into the nemesis in a hallway, and as you're getting ready to fight him, he brushes right past you because you're not a STARS member. So many possibilities, but I want to know what you guys think. What enemies would you like to see return to the Resident Evil 2 remake? Got an idea for an all-new enemy? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like, and for more news, discussions, live streams, giveaways, and the Residents of Evil podcast, please subscribe. The Residents of Evil is now a Patreon-supported channel, so if you'd like to see your name in the credits here or get some other really cool perks, head over to patreon.com/ROE-network. That's ROE Network. Links will be down in the description. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you back at the Residents of Evil.